G'day, I'm Simulated Irk and welcome to Train Sim World Great Western Express by Simulated Irk. This is episode number 2 and today we're going to go on a diesel hydraulic multiple unit, a member of the 166 class, and to do that for the first time we should do the tutorial. The 166 introduction, so let's do that. And of course you can find everything Simulated Irk at simulatedirk.com. Lots of different train games, buses, trucks, construction, some emergency services role-playing, and a lot more. So we're about to go into the yard for our tutorial for the Class 166. On the first episode we did the high-speed train, the 43 class, and now we're going to do the 166 on this episode.
This is the Class 166 in Great Western Railway livery. This unit is used up and down the Great Western Main Line, providing stopping services to thousands of commuters each week. Today you're going to learn how to take control of this unit, start it up, get it moving, and then bring it to a stop. Start by climbing aboard the unit. Enter through the cab door in front of you.
Okay, so let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. I've been watching a couple of squirrel videos, so I know some of the tips now that I might not have necessarily have known before, but this is still my first look at the actual unit. Whoa, motion blur.
Take a look around, and when you're ready, have a seat in the driver's chair.
I do love the accent. Okay, so we'll turn the hints back on and we'll sit in the driver's seat because okay.
You need to get the engine up and running. Start by unlocking the reverser using the master key.
Okay. So the master key is there. On.
Set the reverser handle into the neutral position.
Neutral.
That alarm is the AWS self-test system. You will need to acknowledge this before continuing. Press the AWS reset button.
Which is located where exactly? Ah, there it is. Oh.
You need to charge the brakes before we start the engine to ensure the train does not roll back. Set the throttle brake to full service. When you're ready, hit the engine start button on the desk to get the engine running.
Okay. So we've done that. I think the noises are still a bit quiet. Yep, we've started. Now what? Okay, lady, I've started the engines. Now what? Are you going to tell me anything else, or are you cab light on? There we go. That button works. Windscreen demister, fault lights. You going to tell me anything else? AWS, I've already done that. Engine stop. Oh, there is a little bit of noise difference.
Now, set the headlights to day.
Headlights to day. That's one thing I don't have on my trains. Day headlights. Headlights off. markers off day.
Put the train in forwards so we're ready to get moving. Using the reverser again, set the handle into forward.
Forward.
By setting the throttle brake to off, they will start to release.
Now this is a combined power brake handle, so we have to go to off.
Nearly there. Now apply some power and get this unit moving. Ease the throttle brake handle into notch 1.
The her sound seems to have improved a little bit. Not, hang on, brake 1. Okie dokie, what's going on here?
You're performing great and showing real confidence. All you need to do now is bring this unit to a gradual stop. Set the throttle brake handle to braking 1 to apply a small amount of braking force and let the brakes do the rest. You're ready to head out there on your own now. If you remember everything I've shown you here, you will do just fine.
Objective complete. Okay, so let's continue, shall we? Of course, if you want to see more, you can go to simulatordurk.com. You can have a look at the first episode with the high-speed train. We'll do the freight on the next episode. But we're just going to take a little bit of time to go ahead and... let's do the station stopping tutorial before we get out there.
Stopping at stations correctly and on time is a vital part of keeping the railway running smoothly. Let's take a look at bringing a Class 166 service to a stop at Twyford.
This accent is just so hot.
Bring the train up to speed, set the reverser to forward and apply a small amount of power using the combined throttle brake to get us off the line.
Okay, so reverser to forward. Power setting 1, notch 1. So we're starting to move.
Nice work so far. Once we've reached 40 miles per hour, we can start the process of slowing her back down and bringing her to a stop. Set the combined throttle brake to 5 and increase your speed up to 40 miles an hour.
Oh my god, that accent is just so hot. I shouldn't be distracted, but let's go into 5 knots. There we go. So we've got to get up to 40 miles an hour. Sound's still not good. You can hear it cutting out a lot. And I've still got my settings in kilometers per hour, so we're not up to 40 miles an hour yet. About 80, 85 roughly. Okay, I'm coasting, now what? It's probably a trigger point.
We want to aim to stop at the S-board at Twyford. Apply some brakes now and follow a gentle, smooth braking line right down to a stop.
Too slow. Too slow. Outbraked myself. I did what she told me and I stopped at the before the station. Hang on. I did exactly what she said in the tutorial and the train stopped well and short. Didn't even hit the platform. Because in theory I should be hitting this platform about 50 k's. See, they've got a location on the ground where they want you to stop.
Passengers are ready to start boarding. Release the left doors using the button on the left of the desk. Wait for the boarding, then close the doors. To release the right doors, the button is on the right side of the desk, but you won't need that for now.
Okay. Train doors release. And the train doors have released. There we go. So we're loading passengers.
That was great. Driver judgment plays a big part towards a nice, clean stop at stations, but you'll learn that after some practice of your own.
Okay, you're telling me nothing I don't know already, now what? Okay, I've completed this short tutorial. Okay, let's continue. And what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and we'll actually drive one in service. We'll start from London Paddington. So we'll go into services and we'll go the class 166. Actually, we'll change it up. We'll make it winter blizzard, winter snow. And we'll do like a lunchtime out of Paddington. London Paddington to Oxford, there we go. And of course, as we mentioned before, it only is mapped as far as Reading, so that's as far as we'll go from London Paddington to Reading. So we'll see how we go on this occasion. On the first episode we drove the high-speed train to Reading and it was basically first stop Reading, effectively. Whereas this one will be stopping at more stations. So we'll see how we go. Okay, here we are. We are at London Paddington. So, headlights today. Now I presume the engine's on already. Although we'll press it anyway. And I did see the mister here somewhere. Where did I see the mister? So here we are. Let me see, what should I do? Train door release. Let's do that. This sound is so annoying. Cab light on, windscreen demister on. Now I need to find the wipers. Climate control to heat. Reverse it into neutral. Let's have a look outside. Can we... Oh, look at that. It shouldn't really be foggy in there, but... This sound is so annoying, sadly. Now I need to find the wipers. Train door, train door. AWS. Gauge dimmers. See, the tutorial doesn't really tell you much about, for instance, where are the wipers? There's the horn. Wipers. There we go, need to keep the snow off. Okay. We'll close the doors. And we're off. Reverser in forward, that shouldn't have been possible. And we're off. Shouldn't be snowy like this inside London Paddington, but we'll have a look when we get outside what it's like. That looks pretty sweet. Now we should back to off, just so we can coast for a little bit, because we are approaching the speed limit. Our first stop's at Ealing Broadway at 12:35. This is 3 minutes away. The actual time on the on-screen display is very small. My apologies about the sound. Some people have mentioned it in relation to Train Sim World and some bugs that they found. Others haven't. So there's been no fix for that yet. So we're continuing about 45 kilometres an hour, relatively low speed out of Paddington to start with. Not that you can really see what's going on outside at the moment. So we might just give it a little bit more power. Green signals ahead. They've got some high speed sections coming up. Or higher speeds. 7 notches, so we're in 7 notch now. Let's have a look outside. How are we going out there? Looks like we're speeding just a little bit, so we'll probably just coast now anyway. So needless to say, I've never actually driven car or train for that matter in these sort of conditions. I've walked and been on public transport in this sort of conditions in the Northern Hemisphere, but never actually driven a train or driven a car for that matter in these conditions. I once described it as being great for somebody like a tourist. For me, doesn't have to do any of the work, but for people who are actually doing the work, not necessarily that great. I don't think it's coping. I don't think my computer's coping that well with the snow. So we're already running late. We're still about a kilometre away from Ealing Broadway, our first stop. Now I have watched other videos, namely Squirrel, and the sound is fairly similar on that. And I have played other games with my system, and the sound's fine. So we're still 2.7, 2.4 k's away from Ealing Broadway. So I know we took a little bit of time leaving Paddington. That does look pretty spectacular. Even though my frame rate is pathetic at the moment. .1 k's away, time to get back in the cab or just shut off. From what I've seen and from what I've been on these trains, their brakes are pretty good, and the platforms are longer than the carriages that we've got anyway. So we're about a half a kilometre away now. We'll just let it coast in, and we'll assess the situation as we get a bit closer. Starting to see the station through the fog and the snow and the mist now. Just put a little bit of braking on. Here's the station. Not emergency brake, full service. Let's see, how does she pull up? No, out the other end. Braked way too late. Looks like somebody will be going and seeing his simulated shift manager on Monday. But look at the snow on the windows. Your apologies, passengers. Your simulated driver is an idiot. So technically this is not allowed, and it probably wouldn't be allowed here either, because we're actually past the station. I don't think we've got any part of the train on the platform, or do we? No, we still might have a bit of the no. So, for the sake of the exercise, we're actually going to go backwards, which is probably something that we probably wouldn't be able to do anyway, because we've overshot. But for the sake of the exercise, let's see what happens. It hasn't even, probably won't even register, or will it? Let's have a look. Not a good start to my career in this type of train. Here we go. Objective complete, so I obviously needed to do that to so let's have a look outside. Ah, hang on, whoa. So we'll wait for the passengers to finish loading. So we're back. So we'll go from Reading to Henley on Thames. I've turned the weather off. Actually, let's go from Oxford to London Paddington, which of course will be Reading. So we'll do that. We'll do that this time, and we'll see what this actually looks like in the sunshine. And so we'll do the Reading to London Paddington bit this time, in reverse of what we did on the first episode. Of course, if you want to watch more and watch Train Simulator 2017 videos, which is from the same creators, different train engine, you go to simulatordirk.com, and if you go off the front page, there's now a train simulator section that you can just click on the ad and go there, so you can get you can see from the website all the videos in the one place, apart from of course the different playlists on YouTube and whatnot. So we'll see if things are any better in the daylight, shall we? Alright, let's get into it, shall we? Let's have a look outside. There we go. Let's put our What is that noise? Don't know what that noise is. Passenger emergency override, is that it? I don't know. Doesn't tell you this on the tutorial. Forward. I still don't know what that noise is. It's not the AWS. The door's locked. That's not it. I'm not speeding. And the tutorial didn't tell me anything about this. Now, obviously, in a real situation, I would actually know and I'd be able to, and I'll be able to fix it. Whoops, went the wrong way. Well, putting it into emergency briefly stopped the noise, so maybe park brake was on? Help! Whatever that noise is, it's gone now. So let's continue. We have to go to Tyford for our first stop at 8:25. It's 8:23 now. We might be running fractionally late. I'm getting a fair bit of lag. There has been an update to Train Sim World Great Western Express, which is what you're watching now, from when it first came out, so I'm not sure if this has anything to do with it. But it's definitely running a lot slower than was the case in the first episode, the high-speed train episode, but we'll keep going and we'll see how we go. So we're still 6.2 kilometres away from Tyford. We're in 7 notch and it's almost 100 kilometres an hour. It should be louder than this. We're still quite a distance away from Tyford, so we'll just keep on keeping on at the moment. Let's have a look outside. Oops. You can see sometimes the frame rate's dropping, probably because I'm in the trees. Not a bad screen cap. Gotta say I'm a little bit disappointed because it wasn't performing like this when I did the first episode. And it's not as if my system's a low-end system. Can do better. So we'll turn our indicators back on. We'll get back in the cab, and we're still 2.5 kilometers away. Compressor speed up, I don't know what that is. Gauge dimmer, did that work? Oh yeah, it does. One point something k's away, so I should. I'm not necessarily a fan of this user interface. So we'll start the shut off. We'll see if we can do better than we did at Ealing Broadway a little bit earlier. Let's get straight into a full service. That seems to be coming to a stop alright. Full service, 200 meters to go. A little bit, seems a little bit quick than reality, but we'll take some of the braking off. Okay, let's let's open the doors. That guy doesn't look impressed. Let's get back in the cab. We'll turn our indicators back on. Let's go outside briefly. Yeah, let's close the doors. Now we could go on to Maidenhead, but the way that the video is and everything at the moment, let's do it one more stop, and we'll just go, for the sake of the exercise, straight into 7 notch. It's not the way we should do it, but let's just see what happens. Maidenhead at 8:33 in about 4 minutes, theoretically, 11 k's away, so that's not going to be happening. What I think it does, I think it plonks you right, say how we left Reading. I think it plonks me right down at departure time at Reading, but it still hasn't set the cab up for me or anything like that. Where in reality you'd get there a few minutes before you'd turn everything on and be waiting to go at your departure time, not setting up at departure time. So we've still got 10 kilometres to go, so we'll just keep going and have a look outside, shall we? There we go. I find that if you're there on the track side, it's not as bad, although you can still see the effects around the wheels where it's not rendering properly. Maybe if we zoom in a little bit. There I am. Simulated Irk, driving a train. And we're still, what, 8.6? Some of those figures are a bit hard to read. Still quite a way away from Maidenhead yet. We'll just do one more stop and then we'll call it an episode, I think. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. It should be performing a little bit better than this. Although we'll see on the next episode. We'll see how we go. We'll do the freight. We'll do the freight engine and the scenarios, etc., that come with the freight on the next episode, and we'll see how we go. And then I think we'll leave it for a while and wait for a couple of updates before we go on, because there will be some people who'll be having lots to say in relation to it. Even if the game was 100% perfect, there'd still be a lot of people commenting, oh, you can do this, you can do that, or whatever. But when a game's not performing the way that it should, well, yeah, the developers will be working on. The developers will have a list of things that they're working on anyway, things that they want to improve, and then there's other stuff that people will tell them as well. So I dare say that in time to come, this game will improve. It's pretty good out of the box. You know, it's using the Unreal Engine, so it's a different experience to Train Simulator 2017, which you could also see here at Simulated Irk. It's a different experience, but the Train Simulator 2017, it's more of a mature product, whereas this is a newer thing on a newer engine. So yeah, there are going to be some teething problems, but there's other things that I'm sure the developers are working on. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at SimulatedIrk and at IrkPod. You'll find more personal stuff at IrkPod, and basically only Simulated Irk stuff on Simulated Irk. SimulatedIrk.com. There's another train. We're still 2.7 k's away from Maidenhead. The cab looks good. There are some things on here which are clickable. There's some other things that aren't necessarily clickable, and there's other things that I've got no idea about, like compressor speed up. Oh, hang on. That's not causing an issue, is it? I don't think I can click those buttons anyway. Parking brake, wheel sleep light, train recorder, transmission. Where would the parking brake be? I know where it would be on one of my trains, but door and a lock. Safety system isolation is already all the way up there. Was that Maidenhead? No. I think I should shut off. It's Maidenhead's coming up very quickly. Actually, I think that was Maidenhead. Let's... Didn't think it was that quick. Didn't think we were that close to it. Although it is indicating that it is almost 2 kilometres behind us, so I don't see how that was possible, but I wasn't necessarily paying attention because I was looking around. A reading light, not a reading light, train doors closed on that side, hazard lights. The signal button probably doesn't do anything. Where are the park brake controls on this thing? Engine stop. Let's have a look at the map. Let's have a look at the map. There's the train. Now that looks like the previous station. Doesn't actually say where it is. Now it would be nice if it actually told you. If it actually told you. Okay, let's just... We'll go to the next station. On high. Town and country, yeah. We'll just have a look and see what the next station is. There's no way we've done 2.5 k's that fast. So I don't like this user interface. See, if I'm right and Maidenhead is actually behind me, I don't think it's going to go, okay, you've skipped Maidenhead, whatever the next station is supposed to be, we'll stop there. Actually, this is a station coming up that I won't be stopping at. Let's have a look. Let's go into full service. I wouldn't pull up that quickly even in full service. I wouldn't pull up that quickly. Let's just go to the... Oops. Where are we? Taplow? Oops. Well, I know I was only going to go to one more station anyway, but I didn't know that one station was going to be Tableau. Well, yes, indeed. I did, just out of my own curiosity, have a look at an actual GWR network map online, and yes, we did miss Maidenhead, and we've now stopped at Taplow. And as you can see, I've still got the doors open. But how good does the station look? Seriously, even with all the other things that are going wrong with the game today. Look at how good it looks. So yes, I did miss Maidenhead. That was the station that was passing by as I was having a look at, as the another train goes off in the distance. Yeah, that is one thing. When I was looking around the cab, yeah, that was Maidenhead that was passing by, and so we stopped at the next station. So I'm Simulated Irk. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I've got to say I am a little bit disappointed in how it is. So we'll wait for an update or two, and we'll see if things improve. But we will give it another chance at least. SimulatedIrk.com. I've got to have a simulated meeting with my simulated shift manager on Monday, clearly. And until next time, thanks for watching, and stay behind the yellow line.